Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Enjoy Life. Feels so good to say that. It's been 3 weeks, guys, since our last episode. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry for that, but just a little well-deserved break due to the events that kind of happened. I felt like a nice little break was deserved. We had Christmas, spent some time with the family and everything, and then we had New Year's. Low-key New Year's, but well spent. And then the day after New Year's Day, I ended up taking a trip to Las Vegas with one of my roommates, his brother, and a friend of his, and his dad. And that was a great experience. Happy belated to my man Mouse and to Jackson. Big shout out to y'all. It was a great trip. And when we got back, it was last Tuesday, so it was a day or two to film, so I just decided to take the break, especially after coming from Vegas. Anyone who's been to Las Vegas, you know that's not really like a relaxed vacation. You're usually going to bed late or waking up early, so it was a lot of recuperating that Wednesday through Friday, and then also, this past weekend, got to celebrate my mom's 61st birthday, so huge happy birthday out to my mom. Love you, Mom. But anyways, guys, we are back, and it feels so good to film today. I could have done a guest this week, but I felt like this was the perfect opportunity for me to do a little solo episode. We have our next 4 guests lined up. Super ahead of schedule, and that's one thing I'm very proud of myself right now, because sometimes the schedule can get a little hectic, but we're good until February, and that feels so good I could say it again. But moving on, just some things that have been going on. Like I said, I hope everyone had a great holidays. Christmas was great. Our last episode we did with Ian, shout out Ian, but I really didn't get to touch on the toy drive. That went amazing, guys. Huge shout out again for all the support for the toy drive. It went awesome. Once again, delivering the presents is the best part. Seeing the look on their faces and just having all of them waiting in the office until every other student gets there. They're all excited, trying to peek, look, see what's in the bags. That was so great. And I'm so glad my guy Steve got to be there, because last year he wasn't there, and so he got to see it firsthand. So also huge shout out to Steve, Mike, his girlfriend. Also shopping at Target and Walmart. Once again, got to say that was an amazing part. But moving on, New Year's was great. Very low-key New Year's. I spent it watching the finale of Stranger Things. For anyone who knows me, they know I'm a huge Stranger Things fan. I mean, I've been watching since the beginning, but I had to tune into that. And I'm also not the biggest, go out guy on New Year's. Just some things that happened in the past, but it was a great New Year's. And, obviously I had to rest up because the following day we were leaving for Las Vegas. And, that was a trip within itself. So I had a great time these past couple weeks, but also I think I'm just kind of getting ready to get back into the swing of things. I find I do a lot better when I'm on a schedule, and this past break it's been a lot of sleeping in and doing whatever, but and while sleeping in is nice, it's nice to get back into a schedule too. And moving on with that, this is going to be semester number 5 of grad school. We are going to be officially more than halfway done. That feels insane to say, because I started grad school after I started the podcast, because I started this around the summertime. But grad school's been a journey. One of the things I've definitely learned is that I'm ready to be done. I'm so ready to finish. I'm excited to finally become a counselor, but the school has been, I'm not gonna say easy or hard, but it's a lot of work, and I guess I'm kind of just ready to try out what I've learned. And I still have a lot to learn, but I'm excited to get to that next step. Another thing I wanted to announce, because obviously you're seeing this video on a Wednesday, we are going back to Wednesdays again. I know I always switch from Wednesday to Thursday, but that usually deals with when I have classes for the semester. And this semester I don't have class on Wednesday or Thursday, so I just prefer to post the videos on Wednesday. It's the middle of the week compared to doing it on Thursday. I feel like people have more stuff to do on Thursday, but we're back on Wednesdays, and I'm excited for that. And some of the things I just wanted to share, because before I did this episode, I was thinking about some things that I wanted to talk about. And so I just wanted to share with some of the things that I've been doing during the break. The first one, of course, playing tennis with my friends. I've kind of mentioned it maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, but tennis is so fun with the boys. I really enjoy that time. Enjoy that like it's a good time. It's really good cardio. And then just spending the time with the boys, that's that quality time that we always need and always need to be with our friends. So I appreciate that. And I would say one of the more things that I'm proud of myself for doing during this break is reading. When I was a kid, I used to be a big reader, mostly because my mom was an English teacher, so she kind of instilled reading from a young age, but that kind of fell apart. But my roommate, he gave me a good book. It's called You've Already Got It, So Quit Trying to Receive It. I've definitely talked about it in my last 2 episodes, but I never really got to go in depth about it because I had a guest on. And if I really had to be honest, I think this would be a book that I would recommend to everyone. I'm so thankful that my roommate gave me the recommendation to read it, and it just kind of put a lot of things, gave me, I guess, more assurance, or gave me more knowledge on things that I didn't even know. And I thought I'd share some of the big ones, I guess. And also, I want to make this a call to anyone to read this book. Look, whether you're in super good faith right now, or you don't go to mass at all, that's okay. I think this book would be awesome for you. And moving on to my biggest, what I got out of it the most was, it always talked about God's love and how God loves us so much. And I think sometimes we take that for granted. You think that you do something bad and you're like, oh, God hates me now. And this book made me realize that there's literally nothing that we can do to make God not love us as much as he can. His love is so endless. He loves us the most. It really depends on us to go and search for his love and to love him back. And so that was a really cool or a neat thing that I've gotten from that. And the other one would be, you kind of get this from the title, but that we already have it. God has already done everything for us. He's gave us everything that we possibly need. It's really just on us to go out there and receive it. And I think I made this analogy in the episode I had with Aaron, but in case I didn't, one of the points they bring up in the book is comparing God's love or receiving the things that we want from him compared to turning on a light switch. Every time we turn on the lights, they're to turn on because, obviously we paid our bills, and from the energy place, it's just there, just right when we turn it on. And it's kind of the same way with God's love. We just have to turn on the light. We have to receive it. And so I kind of really liked that analogy as well. And I guess just overall, I learned to, not wait for things. I feel like when I pray or when I used to, and maybe some of you feel this way as well, like we're always praying for something and we're waiting for something. When in reality, God is always, we already have that something in us. We just have to go out there and receive it and go do it. And so I guess a lot of the book tells you to go out and do stuff, to go and do those things. And I think that helped me out a lot. And so I actually gave it to my mom to read, and I'm excited. I've been checking in on her and seeing what chapter she's on, and I'm excited for her to finish the book because I feel like it would be a good read for anyone, like I said. And honestly, I'm feeling so generous. I was thinking about doing this mid-episode, not mid-episode, before I started rolling. And I think this would be a great idea for anyone who's still watching right now. The first to comment on this video and on Spotify, if you reach out, well, I'll see who commented, but if you reach out and you're interested in reading the book, I will buy this book for you. That's how much I want you to read it, because it is that good. So first person to comment on YouTube and first person to comment on Spotify, I got you. But moving on, another thing that I wanted to talk about, I was driving before I went film, and I thought about this. I wanted to bring this up. One of the guests that I have coming on, I'm not going to share all three, or all four, excuse me. But the one I do want to share is, she is the head of the King Cake Festival that is done here in Thibodaux, Louisiana. I think her name is Miss Dana Grow. I don't want to get that wrong, and I'm not checking my phone. Someone just sent me her contact, and we set a date, so I don't know if I got that correct, but if I think I do. I'm going to stop stumbling. But anyways, I'm excited for that one because, one, I love king cake, and two, I wanted to get someone like Mardi Gras related last year, and I kind of, time just slipped by and I didn't. So I'm excited just because Mardi Gras is such a big thing over here. And I mean, who doesn't love king cake? I went to the festival, I think, one of the years. When it first started, I worked at Johnny's, and they'd always have people like come by and like bring samples and stuff. And I mean, all of king cake is good. But I wanted to bring this up while I was on here. I feel like there's always a big fight over what's the best king cake in the world, or out here in Louisiana. And there's really one simple answer. But before I give you that answer, let me just clarify one thing. Anyone who thinks Rouse's has the best king cake is out of their mind. But it is still a very, very good king cake. I love it very much, and I will go get it anytime I'm feeding king cake. It's very convenient, and I love that. But you are not a true king cake lover, or haven't tried all of them, if you don't think that Manny Randazzo's has the best king cake, because they do. I'm getting up in my seat for this. When I tell you, the first time I went to try it, I remember I was probably in 10th grade. My mom woke me up at like 4 a.m. to go wait out a line. I'm like, what are we doing waiting in this line for king cake? Like, I just did not understand. I was so mad she woke me up for this. But when I tell y'all, when I first tasted that king cake, like, I understood the assignment. Like, I understood immediately. I'm like, I get why they sell out immediately. I get why people are waiting in this long ass line, because it is the best king cake. And I've already had this argument like twice, like in our work group chat, someone was trying to say Rouse's is the best and Randazzo's isn't even that good. First off, they had the wrong one. And second of all, like I just said earlier, Rouse's has a great king cake, but it's not the best. Manny Randazzo's tops everyone. You can debate me over it. You can say something in the comments. I don't care. I'll leave it at that. But back to the books and stuff that I was reading. I'm looking and I'm just seeing this. I'm going all over the place this episode, but oh well. this is the next book I've been reading. You probably can't even see it from right here. I'll leave the link in the comments of the video, but it's called Grace Revolution by Joseph Prince. My roommate gave me this book. Shout out my roommate, always plugging me up with books. Got to read some of it. I'm probably like on chapter 4 or 5. This is a great one too. I think it's important to read. Like I said that earlier, but I enjoy reading books about faith and kind of faith-inspired books just because I think it's important. Well, not important. Well, it is important, but it's interesting to hear other people's stories and other people's perspectives on their faith because it makes me look at it differently, and I kind of appreciate getting that other perspective. But I think that's about it for this episode. Let me check if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about because I wrote it down and it's been that long since I've done a solo episode. But without further ado, guys, just to go back, I want to say thank you for supporting me through this journey. I didn't even say this in the beginning of that episode, but happy 2026. I mean, I hope it's like 2016. For anyone who was in 2016, I mean, like, that was the year. So hopefully 2026 is 10 times better. But thank you for being a supporter. This is another year on the pod. We're going to do great things. I'm excited. We're already starting on a roll with all our guests lined up. Next thing you know, we'll be booked till April. But I appreciate all the supporters and everything. And once again, I've shouted them out every episode, but I think I will again. Shout out Aaron Daigle for giving me these new mics, man. This means the world. I can't lie. Like, still recording, it feels weird. I don't know anyone who doesn't know tech. Like, these mics were very expensive, and to have a guest buy that for me literally means the world. Because, you know, I believe in myself about this podcast to the max, but to see someone else spend that type of money just kind of shows how much they believe in me. And to have someone else believe in me that much beyond words, that says a lot in my book. And I'm beyond appreciative for that. And so, Aaron, thank you so much. And most of all, I love y'all. Let's be happy and let's enjoy life. Y'all have a great rest of y'all week. We're out.